me, Doc, and I'm here with the lesson number 1 in beginner ukulele. Okay, so this is for an absolute beginner or someone who plays maybe another instrument and is coming to ukulele, or someone who maybe used to play and wants to get back into it but can't really remember anything. We'll be starting from scratch, but at this point you should know how to tune your ukulele. Okay, and if you don't, I want you to check out the lesson I have on that, or check out someone else's lessons on that, or ask someone how to tune your ukulele, or just Google it, and you'll be able to figure it out, okay? But I'm going to show you real quick, because before you practice, before you play, before you do anything, you want to tune your instrument, okay? So I'm going to tune mine real quick. G, C, E, G. Oh, I'm not in tune. Let me get to A. G, C, E, A. All right, so our instrument's in tune. All right, so let's talk about sitting real quick. So this is the one I like to play in. This is the chair that I like to play in, or a stool, I suppose. But you should find someplace comfortable, and someplace where your back is going to be straight, that you don't have bad posture, that, but also someplace you're going to be comfortable, in a place that's well lit, and it's going to make you want to practice. So, boom, right here. Now, you can either sit like this. What a lot of people do will raise their leg up on something like this, which is a lot of the times what I'll do, but it's not necessary. All right, so I'm going to show you how to hold the ukulele real quick. I have a lesson about a bunch of different ways to hold it, but I'm going to show you the best way for a beginner to hold it. So you can either rest it on your lap right here, but what I'm going to recommend is to play it right here, okay? So this is a tenor size ukulele. You might have a different size, like a soprano or something bigger maybe, or even something smaller than that, I don't know. But this is the way I like to play it. So you take the back of the ukulele and you put it on the front of you. And you can either put it down here, or you can put it up higher if you want, or even so high as to up here if you'd like. I'm going to put it probably around right here. All right, so it should be right here. And I'm going to take my strumming arm. If you're right-handed, that will be your right arm. If you're left-handed, that will be your left arm. And I'm going to take the forearm part of it, and that's going to be the support of the ukulele. Sorry. If you have a smaller ukulele, you're going to be higher up, and if you have a larger ukulele, you're probably going to be lower down on your forearm. So you want to hold it right there, and take your palm and put it over the sound hole, and just so you can hold it right here, okay? And then you're going to take your fretting hand, which if you're right-handed will be your left hand, and if you're left-handed will be your right hand. You know, that's confusing, right? But your fretting hand, and you're going to go like this, make a karate chop, support the neck right there, all right? And now you should be able to open up both your hands and hold the ukulele, all right? So I like it right about, this is the angle that I like. Down here is a little too low, and anything up higher is a little ridiculous. Now obviously if you're playing in a different position, like some people play down here, yeah, your ukulele is going to be like this. But if you're holding it this way, it should probably be more at like a 45-degree angle, probably. All right, so look at that. Now you should be able to comfortably flail and hit the strings without losing your ukulele, without having it drop, see? And you should be able to take these hands, these fingers, and lay them against the strings like this to stop them. This is called muting. Alright, get that? Alright, so that's how I hold the ukulele. Alright, so you want to make sure that you're comfortable and that this feels right. You want to make sure your wrist is not bent like this. You want it to be relatively straight. That's a good rule of thumb. Your wrist should probably be straight most of the time. It's supported. You should be able to go like this and take that arm away and still be able to support it right there. All right, boom. Some people might play more like this. Some people might do more of a fiddler's grip, classical guitar grip, whatever. This is the way we're going to learn for right now. All right, so make sure you can do that. All right, and now we're going to learn about fretting the instrument. So if you watched my video about tuning, you saw how strings work basically. If a string is tighter, it will be a higher note. If it's looser, it'll be a lower note. And if a string is shorter, it'll be a higher note. And if it's longer, it'll be a lower note, all right? So the way we shorten strings is by pressing them up against these frets right here, these metal frets. And we're shortening the vibrating length of the string. See, if I pluck it right here, we call this an open string, plucking it open. The whole string is vibrating from the nut to the saddle. But when I go like this, I fret it, for instance, on the 5th fret, the one with the dot right there, I am shortening the vibrating length of the string. This part is no longer vibrating. Only this part is vibrating, right? So I'm essentially shortening the string, okay? And so that's how the ukulele works. You change the pitch of the strings by selectively shortening them into favorable combinations. It's pretty simple when you get down to it. It's just math. But yeah, so let's get back to holding it. You're right here. So we're going to learn our first chord and how to pluck the ukulele and how to fret it, okay? So we're going to take our index finger, right? Boom. We're going to go like this with it. And we're going to support it right there at its joint with our thumb. We're going to take it, rake it over the strings right here. Kind of drag it, and then a little flip, okay? Like you got something, like there's a little flea on it and you want to get rid of it. Alright? That'll be our basic strum. You don't have to support it with your thumb if you don't want to. You can do it another way. You can use your thumb this way. You can go like this. But I suggest as a beginner that you try and get comfortable with this way. I have a thumbnail. I have a long nail. You don't have to have a long nail. You can do it without one. But yeah, that's how we strum. Now, the ukulele does not have an open tuning. Well, it does technically. But that means if you strum it, it doesn't sound very good without fretting something. This isn't something that someone probably wants to hear. You want to turn it into a chord. Alright, so get back to here. You're going to take, you've got these fingers right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, index, middle, ring, and pinky. Alright, you're going to take your ring finger, right, and you're going to touch it against the first string. So this is the first string, and this is the 4th string. 1, 2, 3, 4. They go lower as they go higher, okay? So you're going to take your ring finger and press it against this first string, which is the A string, right? G, C, E, A. All right? So you're going to just press it against there lightly. Just touch it, okay? Like we did before with all the fingers, but we're just going to touch it there. And then we're going to do the strum thing. Now these are sounding, and this is not, because we're pressing against it, we're muting it, all right? We're not shortening its vibrating length, we're stopping it from vibrating at all. So that doesn't sound bad, that sounds okay, right? So now, you've actually got something that doesn't sound terrible, but let's complete it, let's make it a little bit better. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that ring finger, right, where it's touching the string, and we're going to make sure that it's right next to the 3rd fret. So this is the nut, this is the 1st fret, that's the 2nd fret, this is the 3rd fret. So we're going to take our finger and put it next to the 3rd fret. See? It's right before it, right? We don't want to be right on top of it, we want to be right before it, okay? And then we're going to press our index finger down until the string makes contact with the fret. And you can go like this if you want to see just how much you need, because you don't want to use too much, you don't want to tire yourself out. So look, let me just press. Oh, look at that. And look at that, I'm right below the fret. I'm not touching it. I'm just pressing the string into the fretboard so that that part touches the fret. And I've shortened its vibrating length, and now we have a nice chord here. So this is a C chord, a C major chord if you want to be more specific, but you can just say C chord and it's assumed that it's a C major chord, okay? So we've got your first chord right here. We've got a C major. So shake it out, put your ukulele down, make sure that you don't have too much tension, you're not feeling bad, all right? Make sure you can get back into it, all right? So like this. Karate chop. All right. Ring finger. Now you see a lot of people, especially beginners, use another finger to play that C chord like this. Sometimes I'll play it like this as a demonstration so you can see the fretboard better, see how I'm kind of covering it when I play it this way. But that will harm you in the long run, so you should learn how to play it with your ring finger, please. And so what I'm doing sometimes when I fret a chord is I'm taking, it's no longer resting on my index finger. I'm kind of supporting it by pinching it between my thumb and my finger, just like this. Because it doesn't need that much to support it. Most of it is supported by this arm, alright? So, we've got a C chord. A beautiful C chord. So you've got your first chord, okay? And we're going to learn a song now that only requires this one chord, okay? It's really cool. Most songs use more than one chord, but there's a few songs out there where or at least I should say most songs in the Western pop music and everything use more than one chord. I don't want to generalize all cultures on Earth. But yeah, generally we use more than one chord. But we don't have to for this one. I found a couple songs that only use one chord, and we're going to learn one now. It's called Stew Ball. And it's a traditional African American Stew Ball blues work song ballad. We're going to learn the melody and then the chords, or we're going to learn the part that you sing or that an instrument might play that you would recognize, and then the chords or the harmony, the background, something you would sing over. Usually the melody notes are notes that are found in the chord, but not always. For instance, this song uses a minor melody over a major chord, okay? So that's a real prominent feature of American music, specifically of African American origin, like the blues, country, bluegrass, all received that from African American music. They brought that, enslaved people brought that with them or when they were forced to come here from West Africa. So that sort of major over minor is a feature of African American music that we retain. So the song basically goes, you heard me play it, so let me just go like this. Way out in California, where old Stew Ball was born, all the jockeys in the country swore he blew there in a storm, well you bet on Stew Ball, you might win, bet on Stew Ball, you might win, you bet on Stew Ball, you might win, bet on Stew Ball, you might win. Oh, was a big day in Dallas. Don't you wish you was there? So you get the idea. You can either play the melody over the chords, sing along to the melody, sing over the chords. But it's a pretty fun song, and it features a lot of cool techniques that are optional. So I think this is a really good song for beginners. So first, we'll learn how to strum the chords, okay, and sing the melody over it. And then we'll learn how to play the melody part of it on our ukulele, okay? We'll learn how to do it on a low G ukulele. All right, so Stew Ball, okay? It's a really easy song, really fun one. We're going to learn how to play it and sing it, all right? So we're going to have to learn a little bit about music first, okay? So most of the songs, for instance, I live in America, most of the songs I hear are in 4/4 time, which means there's 4 beats per measure. One, you probably hear people counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's other kinds of music too. There's there's so many kinds, but 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. you get the idea. But most songs that I hear probably, and if you live in a similar area to me, the U.S., you probably hear mostly 4/4 songs. And the song we're learning is going to be in 4/4 time too. So like I said, that means there's 4 beats per measure. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just heard the song. So for instance, the song goes 1, 2, 3. Oh, Stu Ball was a racehorse way out in California, California. Yeah. We need to do that, but we don't want to just be going like that. We want to be playing the ukulele. So we need to get used to strumming in time. So we're going to learn how to do a 4 to the floor pattern. This is just very simple. We're going to strum a chord on each one of the beats. The 1, 2, 3, 4. Every time a number sounds, we're going to strum the C chord, okay? So basically like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're doing all downstrokes for right now. If you're a more advanced player and you feel comfortable, you can obviously do something. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, or you know. But let's just, if you're a beginner, let's just keep going with 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Stu Ball. Yeah, real easy. Let's just go through the song real quick, and you can see what it sounds like with just a simple strumming pattern. Okay. Post way out in California, where Stu Ball was born. All the jockeys in the county swore he blew there in a storm. But you bet on Stu Ball, you might win. Well, you bet on Stu Ball, you might win. You bet on Stu Ball, you might win. Well, you bet on Stu Ball, you might win. Was a big day in Dallas. Don't you wish you was there? You'd bet your last dollar on the iron gray mare. The extent of this song, it's a 1-chord song. It's really easy. So that's something that you should just go back and practice until you feel comfortable strumming this chord. And then once you get comfortable with that, the 4 to the floor pattern. Oh, Stu Ball was a racehorse. We're gonna go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and in between the numbers there's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we want to strum on those ands too to give the song a little bit more character and rhythm. Okay, so 1 and 2. Now you can either go, I suggest going like this, 1 and 2. You can also go 1 and 2 and. That's kind of like a punk rock thing, and it doesn't really work for this maybe, but so I suggest going like this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Sorry, we stopped at 4. But why don't we slow the song down while we do it this way, okay? So let's go. Way out in California, where old Stu Ball was born. All the jockeys in the county swore he blew there in a storm. Will you bet on Stu Ball? You might win. Will you bet on Stu Ball? You might win. Will you bet on Stu Ball? You might win. Will you bet on Stu Ball? You might win. It was a big day. Alright, so let's play the melody of this song on our low G ukulele. I'm using a tenor ukulele, but you don't have to. You can use any low G ukulele. So remember, that's tune G, C, E, A with a low G. before we play. Alright, so there's two parts to this song basically. There's the part that goes, which I guess you would call the verse, or the A part, and then there's which you would call the chorus or the B part, okay? And they're both pretty similar. They're both the same length, and they use similar techniques, but as you can see, the melody is different. So we're going to learn the verse part first, and then the chorus, okay? So this song starts with a pickup, or two pickup notes. So that means we learned that, you know, a lot of music goes 1, 2, 3, 4, but the singing part doesn't start on the 1. It comes in a little early. Out, out, in. So you say way out in. So it comes in early. Way done, 1, 2, and 1 and. So the melody goes. If you go like this, you're gonna take. I like to use my ring finger to do this, but if you're just starting out, you can use your index finger if you want, but I do like to do it this way. So you're just going to do this. You're going to play the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So that's G, C, E. That's the E string, the 2nd string, the 3rd fret. Remember, we learned how to fret for chords, right? And it's the same thing. We're gonna fret this note instead, but instead of strumming all the strings, we're just going to take our index finger, okay, and just hit it right there, or your thumb. See? We went from here to here. Okay? So do, do, do. 2nd note's right there. Way out in. See if you can do that. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Okay? So, way out in. And then there's this sort of chorus part where this is originally a work song. So there would be a leader, and then all the workers would come in. So, way out in. That would be the workers part, like a sea shanty. So we'll play that part too, right here, by going. So we're going to take our middle finger, and play the 3rd fret on the 4th string. So just like we fretted this, and this, we're going to fret this, but with our middle finger. And you want to make sure that your fingers are not touching any other strings, okay? Because if they do, they'll mute it and sound it from playing, and then it won't sound as good. So we're going like this, right? And then we're going to take our middle finger, hit the 3rd fret of the 4th string, and then back to this note, open 3rd string. Way out in California. So it's the same thing. Way out in California, where old Stu Ball. So we do that 3 times, and then we go, was born. So we're going to take our ring finger and put it on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. So finally fretting this one. So we've gone to here, to here, to here, and now we're going to here. So, it's just that repeated twice, all right? And then we get to the chorus part, which is... Alright, so let's go over that. So we're going to take our ring finger again, and we're going to go like this. Do, play that note. Then we're going to put this note down, this finger right down, and lift this one up a little bit. We don't have to lift it up crazy high, we just have to lift up a little bit. Where you bet on Stuball, you might win. Where you bet on Stuball, you might win. Bet on Stuball. 3rd fret, 4th string. You might win. Where you bet on Stuball, you might win. Way out in California, where old Stuball was born. All the jockeys in the country swore he blew there in a storm. Where you bet on Stuball, you might win. Where you bet on Stuball, you might win. Bet on Stuball, you might win. Where you bet on Stuball, you might win. So it's pretty easy. Way out in California, where old Stuball was born. All the jockeys. So that's my first lesson in the ukulele series. So you've learned how to hold the ukulele. You've learned how to strum it. You've learned how to play a C chord. And hopefully you've learned the song Stuball. If you have any issues, let me know in the comments. And I'd be happy to make personalized videos for anyone who is having issues with any part of this. If you stay tuned for the next lesson, we'll be learning another chord and then a 3rd chord. And then we'll probably learn a few more songs too, okay? So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get all these videos as soon as they come out. All right. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Doc, and make sure to practice.